So, oh, I always forget that the microphone's on the end and the camera part is on the thing, so it's really awkward to hold my phone and record at the same time. So I wanted to show you this before I dropped it off at the framers because there's a funny story here. My Distal Fink Heart Modern Folk Embroidery, I stitched this years ago, gave it to my mom along with Halsingland Blommer, and she took Distal Fink Heart in to get it laced and framed. And this is what happened. Here's the back. Here's the front. It's not even in the middle. It's not what she wanted. And not only that, the funniest thing, this is the back of my work. They literally did it backwards. So my mom had this done at a place that was somewhere in the Niagara area. I'm not going to name and shame because it's clear that they've never worked with embroidery before. So let's be fair. They did something, they attempted something they probably shouldn't have done. So anyways, I've brought it, my mom gave it back to me, and I've brought it to my framer here in London, which is Chops, and I'm going to take it in to Craig and have him fix it and frame it. I've got a bunch of other pieces with me as well. So time to get it fixed.
Happy Friday, Floss Tube. Hello, crafty friends. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've been back here on this channel. It is Friday. In fact, it's my first video on this channel for the year, for the new year, for 2025. Today is January 31st, last day of January, which has felt like the longest month ever. And it is 1:30 in the afternoon. I'm recording here in London, Ontario, Canada, at my place of work, which is the Evertote workshop. So let's get started with something that I've got some giveaways. I've got some giveaways to share with you. As you may remember, we stitched the 2024 holiday countdown stitch along together throughout the month of December. It was so much fun. It was so much fun doing that together with you. Thank you to everyone who participated with me, both in stitching the chart together, the design together, as well as just visiting with me daily. It was a lot of fun. So without further ado, let's talk about the giveaways. I had 86 entries. These were, I requested them via email. 86 of you sent me emails with photos of mostly completed. I only had a few people send me emails who didn't manage to quite finish. 86 people, mostly all finished. Only a few of the, sorry, you know what I meant. And I had 3 big giveaways. So the first giveaway was, and it's still, I can't exactly tell you what it is, but I can tell you who has won it, and they're going to love it. Jacob, Modern Folk Embroidery, Carrie Roxy Flasco, and myself are putting together a box. We currently are just about to start our Salentine stitch along. That's starting February 14th. We're going to have a box in between the Salentines and our holiday countdown 2025. And it's still a bit of a secret, so I can't really tell you too much about it, but I can tell you, if you like stitching small things, you're going to love it. So one of the winners is winning one of these boxes. So congratulations, Shelly Pierce. You are the winner of the box that is yet to be talked about, that's going to be shipping out in the late spring. We hope to be working on this together throughout the summer, early fall. So congratulations, Shelly. I will reply to your email just in case you miss seeing this. Prize number 2 was a Hearthside Craftworks lap frame. Most of you know, my husband and I, we took over the Hearthside Craftworks business back in 2022. My husband now makes the frames along with a couple other people. The Hearthside Craftworks has grown a little bit, and so we have two main frames. We've got the Mark II floor frame as well as the lap frame. Congratulations, Andrea Ward. You are the lucky winner of the lap frame. Third prize was a $200 gift certificate to Evertote, to be spent however you wish. Congratulations, Valerie Sievenpiper. Congratulations, Valerie. You are the winner of the $200 gift certificate to Evertote. Please, actually, I will email you. So I'll email you. We'll figure it out. Congratulations. I hope that hope all three of you love your prizes. The countdown is the largest project that we here at Evertote take on for the year. We're a small business, and in collaboration with Carrie of Roxy Floss Co. and Jacob of Modern Folk Embroidery, we are doing it all over again. And in fact, tomorrow, February 1st, listings are going live for the 2025 holiday countdown, so we can do it all over again. The chart is designed. I've seen it. It's fantastic. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. I can't tell you anything about it. Carrie and I will talk about a little bit more about, you know, whatever we can talk about when we record our joint floss tube next week over on the between the Notes from the Workshop channel. You can find links in the description box below or more information, or if you have any questions about anything that I'm saying that I haven't explained clearly enough, please leave me a comment question below. Yeah, so Salentine's, our Salentine stitch along is starting in just a couple of weeks. My hope is that I will, I'd love to do some more videos. I find it gives me a purpose to my day, things that I want to share, things that I want to talk about. It makes me, I don't know about you, but the news has been really stressful lately. I've had to limit my news time, set, you know, timers, and stick to that. It gives me something else to focus on other than the news. Makes me get out of bed in the morning, get dressed, you know, because some days just be like that, right? I think if we're all being honest with each other. So it gives me something else really positive in my life to focus on. And I thank you for being here with me. You know, this community is something special. So Salentine starts on the 15th. I don't know that I'm gonna have daily videos out, but I do want to have a real routine and purpose with that, that stitch along, because I want that finished piece. It's not a surprise. I'll pop in a photo here so that you can see what we're stitching. Those of you who are joining in will have, mostly I know we've had a couple boxes just going out the door over the last few days. You should start to see those in your mailbox next week. And yeah, I'm excited for it. So one of my goals this year was to improve my tech, my knowledge base of tech for filming, as well as the quality of my videos on YouTube. Something I find really interesting. And you know, I know what I enjoy watching, and I enjoy it all. I enjoy people who film just to share, and are just using a simple cell phone to, you know, you name it, somebody with a really professional setup. I think we should all, if you have ever wanted to film a floss tube video or make your own video to join in the community, I highly encourage it. It's a ton of fun, and it really shouldn't matter what equipment you're using, right? It's the point is to share. This is now that my business has become to where I have to have the ability to show and share things, colors and you know, different fabrics and things, where the quality of the image that I'm sharing, we're 100% an online business. We do offer local pickup, but again, I don't have a brick and mortar. So the quality of my images actually really matters. And so I do kind of need to upgrade my equipment. I'm also not of the generation that finds this easy. Not that the younger generation finds it easy, but that it certainly doesn't come naturally to me. because I know there are many other people who are my age who it does come naturally to them. So that was kind of a blanket statement that really isn't, you know, you take everything with a grain of salt. I'm not that great with new tech. So I need to invest the time and the research and maybe a few dollars as well into upgrading my equipment. So I was over at my framers. I will have put in a small clip at the beginning of this video for you. I recorded that last week when I was heading in to visit Craig at Chops. Chops is my frame shop here in London, Ontario, and they have a wonderful setup where he can, he's got a down camera where he can show you what it's going to look like, what your piece is going to look like in the frame. And, you know, so they will take orders from, you know, across, well, from wherever, and they can show you digitally what your image will look like with different frames. So I knew he had this set up on a webcam on a boom, and so I went and I spoke with Craig and sort of picked his brain a bit about equipment. And so with his help, I did purchase a down camera. So today is the very first time that I'm going to attempt to use it. So there's going to be some bumps in the road. I'm going to have some, it's going to be a learning curve here for me to figure out how to use it. But one of the things I really struggle with in my videos is being able to show things clearly enough, because I always seem to have focus issues, and I can't get the, you know, it doesn't, you know, show it well enough or long enough. And, you know, the whole point is that I want to share what I'm working on with you. So today's the first day. We're gonna give it a try, and it's a whole new world for me. So I couldn't afford everything all at once. So I've purchased the down camera first. My next piece of equipment that I'm saving up for is going to be a microphone. And then I'm going to invest, well, I might do the lighting next, because I need some more light. I need different, better lighting, because at the moment I'm just using the overhead lights, and you know, it could be a lot better. So let's switch those around. I think that the sound on my camera is decent enough for now to get me through saving up my pennies for a better microphone. So lighting is next, then a microphone. So we'll see. We'll see. And then I just have to learn how to use it all and edit it all in and all of that good stuff. But I'm looking forward to it and challenging myself this year. Challenging myself. Growth is good. I'm going to keep reminding myself when I struggle. So, okay. So speaking of that, let's get to my crafting goodness that I have to share with you today. I have various cross-stitch projects, maybe 6, 7 total. I have 3 knitting projects to share, all older, ones that I'm bringing into 2025 from my past that I really would like to see finished this year. And a quilt. I have a quilt to share with you. And spoiler alert, I did not quilt it myself. I purchased it. But it's such a special treat that I bought for myself that that I wanted to share it with you, because it's absolutely gorgeous and I knew you would appreciate it. So let's give the new camera, let's give it a go. Let's see what we go. How we do. I'm going to try using, this is my first time using the microphone that actually exists on this new camera. So this is kind of a total unknown to me what kind of quality it's going to be. So let's see if it's any good. I thought I would start off by showing you my planner. Since we're at the end of January, here's how we're looking. So I'm really trying to focus on some goals for my year. So I had 3 goals for the month of January. The first one was a stitch along that I'm hosting, Hannah Attwater. It's a year-long stitch along, and I completed my goal for January. And I'll show it to you here. Oh, I've got it upside down. Let's flip that around. Here we go. Look at that. Oh, good gravy. That's good. That looks pretty good, doesn't it? Actually, I'm really pleased with the quality of that. The color is kind of a little bit not quite as saturated as it is in real life. It's a little bit warmer. So the camera seems to be making it a little bit cooler. So January's portion was a lot. It was these, this corner motif here and all the way up the border there. I had to do this little crown and then this little floral bouquet here as well. So, and I added in this bird that I'd missed in December's portion, and in November's portion, there's a matching bird over here and I haven't stitched that one yet. So January's assignment is complete. So moving into February, I've got two floral motifs here and there's one here and one here. So there's no border stitching for this month, for February. So it should move a little faster than January's did. December and January was really stitch heavy, having to add both the border as well as the grass. That grass took me a long time, but it's done and it's beautiful. So this is Hannah Attwater 1832, and it is by Michelle, Mama Loves You GB, and you can find PDFs on her Etsy shop, which is Mama Loves You GB. Let's see, I've got my floss pack here. Michelle has charted it in DMC, and Hannah, along with Michelle, did a Roxy Floss Co. conversion. So there you can see. I find this purple was so much fun to add in to this vase motif here. That was so pretty. That was really fun. This green, it's the most prominent green in the whole piece, is You Will Be Pine. And that is a floss from our 2023 holiday countdown that made it into the regular collection. So it's just this beautiful sort of emerald green. It's gorgeous. Gorgeous. So it features heavily, of course, in the border and the leaves, as well as, all of this in here, all of this fill in the berry bowl. This green is, as you can see, that's a different green. So this has been a ton of fun, and I'm keeping up, which is a good thing since I'm the one hosting the SAL. There have been other SALs that I've hosted that I have not kept up with, but generally I try to keep the ones that are, the ones that have strict guidelines. I'm using that term used loosely because SALs are supposed to be fun, right? So this one, I feel like I'm being a good leader. I'm going to give myself a pat on the back for it. So tomorrow I get to start the next section. I will be taking this home with me this weekend to put the first few lengths of floss in. Okay, so that's Hannah Attwater 1832. Oh, my fabric is 40 count Roxy Floss Co. Panettone. That's that. Here. Okay, so the next goal on my planner is the December, January, because I didn't do it in December, I didn't finish it, put a bird on it, stitch along. This is the stitch along being hosted by Shelia and EJ on Sunshine Stitchers, and I am woefully behind. I have put in, I think, 2 lengths of floss into this. I didn't even bring it to share it because I barely have anything done. So this goal is moving into February. I don't think I'll be able to do 3 months worth of stitching in one. So what I might do is I might just start over and just try to do the December portion in February and call it a win. My third goal, another piece that I have left at home, I am going to be sharing my stitching next Thursday when I record with Carrie. This is a stitch along that I started a couple of weeks ago. When did I start it? I can see right over here. Look, I started it on January 12th. Aha. So this is the Modern Folk Embroidery Love Thy Neighbor SAL. My goal was to finish one motif, which I did. And it's the central motif with the words Love Thy Neighbor. I have finished it. I will tell you more about it next week. Okay, so other than that, some really fun things that I did this month stitching wise. Carrie and I, Carrie, my partner here, Roxy Flossco, we have been participating together in a little stitch along, the two of us, and anyone else who wanted to do it was welcome to join in. This is Catherine Rees. This is chart Reproduction Samplers by 1897 Schoolhouse Samplers. And there are two really lovely little charts here. And so I suggested, and I use the word suggested loosely, I basically gave Carrie the linen and floss and I said, we're doing this. You will like this. And in fact, that is our hashtag on Instagram. You will like this friendship SAL. So Carrie is stitching the while plying her needle, and I am stitching blooming in her own time. We have gotten together. So she comes upstairs here and we stitch together here in my office. And we've gotten together 3 times on the 14th, the 21st, and today, just this morning, we put some stitches in. So, look, there's Ellen. There's my friend Ellen. She came to stay, and she had a hair appointment with my hairdresser. My other new start, I started Anne Boleyn, one of Ellen's pieces. I've shared it before. I'll share more of my progress next week. So I had a pretty good month, actually. I had a pretty good month. So there you go. That's my planner. I am using, it is My Crazy Life, my friend Lori Sykes. It is her cross stitch planner. Well, it's my planner now, but she's the one who put it out. Okay, so Catherine Rees, blooming in her own time. See, there's a bit of an overhead glare from my overhead light, so it will be nice to change that. Okay, there we go. And there's where I'm at. So last week I finished the fill-in here on this. Let's try bringing the camera just a little closer and see how close we can get without it going, out of focus. Ooh, look at that. Actually, that's pretty good. Now, I know my fingers are now huge, but look at the stitching. If I had a pointer, I could use a pointer. I have, what have I got I could use as a pointer? Maybe some, I've got a knitting needle. How about that? It's on a circular, so I'll try not to bash the other one around. So you can see here, I did this fill in last week, and it was intensive because it's full coverage, and of course it's not, you're sort of skipping stitches and then filling in 3 colors because the border is a different green than the fill-in green on the inside. And then today I stitched this. I had a thread that I had just started last week and left, so I stitched all of those stitches up that side of the border, and I started the vase in the middle because I needed to do something else other than border. So I started the vase, and that was fun. So just one length of thread there. This is a 46 count Roxy Flossco porcelain linen, and one strand of floss goes really far on 46 count. The other nice thing about using a 46 count with this project, it meant that I only needed 1/8 of a yard of fabric, and I divided it in half so that Carrie could have the other piece. So 1/8 and 1 floss pack, and we had 2 projects for the both of us. So it was a really nice stitch along. It was a nice way to divide up one project, one chart, and do it with a friend. So yeah, I'm really pleased that we're making time to stitch together because, we work together. We're good friends. We work together every day. It's nice to be able to sit down and just, kind of catch up as friends. more so than always talking about business all the time. So it's been really nice. So that's Catherine Rees and my progress. Oh, I didn't show you my floss pack, did I? Because it's super pretty. What did I do with it? Here's the floss pack. There's the colors. Really pretty color palette. This bright pop of red. That is Inappropriate. Roxy Flosco Inappropriate. Beautiful red. Gorgeous. Okay. The next thing that I worked on, and I am so excited about this one, you guys. You are never going to believe it. Okay, recognize this one? Guess what? I'm going to finish it. I am going to try really hard to have this finished in the next couple of weeks. That's my goal. So this is a Blackbird Designs. It is a very popular piece called Loose Feathers. This came out in a 3-part series. I am using not all of my flosses here. I have Vicky Clayton silks that I bought back in probably 2010, 2011, 2012, somewhere in there. Super old, lovely silk floss, and I did my own conversion. This was one that my friend Kathy helped me do right at the shop. I think I can show you. I'll show you the front cover because this is where I wrote down what I was doing. And so you can see I just kind of picked floss while I was at the shop. I picked floss. We had the DMCs. I went over to the wall and I sort of picked floss. I picked the silks that sort of matched. Kathy was one of the few shops that had Vicky Clayton silk for sale in her shop at the time, and that's why a lot of my projects are kitted up with it that are from that time period, because it was affordable silk at the time. I'm going to use it because it's gorgeous, and I will probably use silk in the future. Silk is not usually my first choice, not because there's anything wrong with it, but only because I have a real tactile problem with things catching on my skin. I absolutely detest microfiber cloths, technical clothes, things like that. If my husband's wearing one of those shirts, those sweat wicking shirts, I can't, I don't like to touch it. I don't like to take it out of I just don't like it. It really bothers me. And I find that I have the same issue with silk, in that it just catches on my skin too much. I don't love it. I prefer cotton. However, I'm not going to toss the project just because of that. It's absolutely gorgeous. So let me show you where I'm at, because you're gonna agree that this should be done now. It should have been done ages ago. However, here we are. So this was part 1. Finished it a long time ago. Let me just raise the camera a bit so you can see the whole thing. Okay. So there's part 1. There's part 2. So beautiful. And fortunately the year is at the very end. And here's part 3. So if you have seen this on my channel before, you might remember what I had completed before I picked this back up again was to the P. And then I had this border was done. I had my initials done. I had the border to about there complete. So last weekend, I finished the alphabet at the top. I did all of this in here for the poinsettia, and then I did the border down here. It's so pretty. And honestly, I know there's still a lot of stitching, especially that bird in the center, but I do think that I can absolutely complete this in the month of February easily. So this is my goal. This is my challenge, to get this done so that I can get it on my wall and be done with it. It's one of my oldest whips and it's just so beautiful. It needs to be finished. Details on this are a little fuzzy because I don't really remember what the fabric is, but I do know that it's a 32 count. 32 or 28. Hang on, stand by. It's 28 count, forgive me. 2 strands of silk on 28 count mystery linen. And it's just so pretty. Like, I mean, look at the details in here. This little, what do you call those things on those? It's like a jack-o'-lantern type thing, flower. I don't remember what they're called, but the ones that when they dry out, they go kind of, or is it just a decoration in a tree? Because I guess that's a tree, isn't it? I don't know, but I always liked the back stitching that made that look really pretty. And there's the colors in here. Lovely. The birds are pretty. I know that some people have changed the type of birds on these designs and made them, to look like birds that are more familiar to their location. I'm going to be stitching it as charted. Well, the type of bird as charted. So there you go. There is my Blackbird designs, loose feathers. So hopefully the next time you see this, it'll be almost done, or maybe even done. We'll see. So this next piece was a new start for me. Just last week, we had some pretty cold temperatures here. I know lots of people were dealing with weather events over the last few weeks. And so I started a polar vortex new start with my friend Ellen, Maximum Cross Stitch. And this is the At Home pattern by Brenda Gervais. I purchased this chart at the attic, and most of us have heard the very sad news that Jean Lee of the attic passed away yesterday. And so I feel like it's fitting that that I have at least one piece in my stash, my whip pile, that is something that's a little memento of the attic. I never met Jean. She was not there the day that I went to the attic. I don't know her personally. I never met her, but I do know that she has had a profound effect on the stitching community, especially the sampler community. And I know that many, many people will feel her loss greatly. So, yeah, I'm pleased to be stitching this. So I purchased this chart at the attic with the intention of eventually doing a Roxy Floss conversion. And this was, when did I go there? Last spring-ish, once my daughter was working in Arizona for a little while. So purchased it then. I also purchased, so it was fitting that I finally use it, a little floss bling. So this came from the attic as well. I treated myself to one of these. So I love it. So it's got my floss on it, a little floss bling. And Ellen did the conversion because I asked her really nicely if she would do it. And look at that. Oh yes. Oh yes. It is glorious. Now, Ellen, who is she's just an incredible stitcher. She is flying through this piece. And so it's been really inspiring to see how far she's come and how the colors are working together, and it's just gorgeous. Now, very sad story with mine. I discovered last night that my little meager start mostly needs to be ripped out. So, ta-da! Yes, so as you can see, the way this is charted, the window is divided onto one page and then another page. And I misread where the center was, and then I misplaced. It's just so messed up. There should be 4 windows instead of 3, and I've stitched the entire frame around 3 windows. And then these bricks should be against the 3rd set of windows instead of the bottom. So basically what I need to do in order to fix this is I need to remove most of everything that's in the center of the 2 outer borders. And how I stitch is not really conducive when it's these small counts. It's not really conducive to easy ripping out because I sew my ends in quite carefully, starting and finishing. This is 40 count, and everything is kind of all, you know, anchored in there with a Bargello tuck, which is an extra little stitch to secure and anchor the thread, which is great for neat and tidy backs, but not great when you have to rip it all out. So I know, try not to shudder too much. I'm going to use the seam ripper. Very, very carefully, I'm going to use my seam ripper, and I'm going to very carefully and gently take care of a few of the upper legs of some of these center stitches, and then take it out. Just remove what needs to be taken out. And then what you do is, if you keep a length of floss that's long enough that you can thread a needle with in the back from the stitches that you want to keep, then you can just thread your needle, and then you can anchor those loose threads again, so that you don't need to rip out everything. Just, you can kind of be selective about what you rip out. And that way I can keep this outer bit. I mean, frankly, it's such a meager start. It's really annoying. This is like 2 days worth of stitching. It's annoying that I have to rip out the bulk of what I've already done. It would almost be faster just to start over again, but I don't want to waste my fabric, and this is a perfect piece of fabric for this design. So I will persevere. Early next week, I'm going to remove those stitches and fix it. This is a piece of 40 count dirty porcelain. And again, floss conversion by my friend Ellen. I can put my thread list in the description box below. It is entirely, these are all flosses that are in the regular Roxy Floss collection. I think except Clownfish. Clownfish, maybe that's a newer thread floss club from late 2024. So I'll see if that one's been put into the shop yet. But all the rest of them are standard in the regular catalog. So there we go. There's At Home by Brenda Gervais. Sad story, needs to be frogged, but oh well, we'll get to it. I do have one new start planned for February other than the Salentine's project, and that is a design sampler reproduction by my friend Leanne, 1897 Schoolhouse Samplers. Evertote is now the exclusive reseller of Leanne's charts. We are currently inputting her back catalog into the shop. I think on the 18th of last month, we added in 6 more. There's some beauties in there. This is one that I need to stitch. So this is the floss pack. These are the colors. They're amazing. This is Floss Boss Hannah's conversion. I am using leftover, 2 of the colors that were called for were Honeymoon and Fallow Red. I have enough Fallow Red to sink a ship, so I'm using some from a leftover mini hank that I had from a different project. And then I had leftover Honeymoon from last year's Salentine box. So that's what that's from. And this is a floss bling that was gifted to me by my friend Suzanne at Stitch North. And I love it. And in fact, so were these I don't know what you call these. You know, they're kind of plasticky, flexible things that she's used her, I believe she's used her Cricut to cut out the circles and the shapes, and then she's added stickers onto them so you can write your floss names. Really clever idea. So I enjoyed using these last year for the Salentines, so I'm happy to have them back in my stitching toolbox rotation. Very pleasurable. I am going to be using whatever fabric we have. So this will be a shop model. So I need to start getting some color in to see how the color is playing on the fabric, because it's gorgeous, and start sharing that, because as we all know, a model always shows better than a photograph, even if the photograph is fantastic. There's just nothing like the real deal. So I can't remember. I think maybe it's either arrowroot or speculoos, but I'm not sure. I'll have to look that up. I haven't prepped my fabric yet. I want to make sure before I start this, I'm going to finish my Blackbird designs. So this is going to be my carrot. Once I finish my Blackbird designs, I'll start this one. So that's my plan. Okay, so what do you think? I mean, the sound quality, I have a funny feeling there were a couple of times where I turned my head away from the camera, and I think that probably the sound is maybe going to be a bit muffled. I think, because it was just habit that I talk and I move. So I'm going to, when I edit, it might not be perfect, but again, please bear with me. I'm just learning. So let me show you quickly my knitting projects that I have planned to be working on. One of them I hope to be finished fairly soon, but the others I'm going to be working on throughout this year. So these, this is sock number 2. Where's sock number 1? There it is. Here we go. I finished this late last year, middle of last year. I don't even remember. I wrote it down. It is an old discontinued yarn. I don't even think the yarn dyer's dyeing anymore. Woolen Boon, colorway Thistle. It's just a super simple sock. These are for my daughter Sarah. She loves my hand knit socks, so she gets socks. Sock number 2. I literally have 3 more rows to do on the heel flap before I start the heel turn. So this weekend it would be great to get the heel turn done and get those gusset stitches picked up. Heel flap, get the flap stitches picked up. So that'd be a good goal, because that's always the trickiest bit of turning the heel, and the part that I always, you know, you have to think about and take your time, and it's a little bit, you know, not tedious if you love sock knitting, but you know what I mean. It's a little tricky. So there we go. So that's knitting project number 1. So there are 4 knitting projects. The 4th one is at home, which is of course Sarah's Afghan. It is the Talon Throw by Brooklyn Tweed. I only did about 1.5 inches during the entire month of December. I have got to get that blanket finished. It's only about half finished. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I think on December 1st, the very first day of Flossmas Vlogmas, it was either the day before or the first day, I was visiting Sarah in Winnipeg. She's working out in Winnipeg right now. Actually, that's where John is. John flew out yesterday. He's spending the weekend with Sarah. When I was there, I took the blanket with me and I laid it out on the nice hotel bed and checked it out, and it's so beautiful, and I have to finish it. So let's try to make some serious progress on that this year. Knitting project number 2. Knitting project number 3, need to count. This one is, I really want this finished. This is yarn from my Sampler September 2023 collaboration with Maximum Cross Stitch, Roxy Floss Co, and Heather of Timber Yarns. This was the set of 12. This was yarn that was dyed to match the floss pack for the chart. The sampler was this one right there. So it's called September's Revenge. There. And Ellen designed it, and chose the floss pack, and then Heather dyed the yarn to match the floss pack. So I'm making a really, there is no pattern. There's no pattern. This is going to be a cowl, and it's going to be double thick. So it's all mini skeins, and because I started it in the airport with Carrie, I didn't even have the right needle. This needle that's on here is Carrie's because she travels with full needle sets. And so she lent me a needle, which I think I've kind of kept it now. So she hasn't remembered to ask for it back, but I haven't forgotten that it's hers. She helped me figure it out because it didn't call for, but my friend Heather suggested how to do this was to start with a tubular cast on, which I don't know how to do. And I was in the airport and I had to start it now. So I just cast on regular stitches with a different yarn. And then when I'm done, when this is twice as long as I want my cowl to be, and it's going to be super long and super squishy, then what you do is I will remove that waste yarn, pick up those stitches, turn it insides together. So you can see now there's a right side on the inside and a right side on the outside. And then you graft the stitches together. I'm going to lose all those off the needle. My tension on this has been very loose because the last time I worked on it was in a movie theater. You graft those stitches together, and then you have a cowl that is double thickness. And really there's no pattern. It's just knit until it's how you like it. It's kind of, you know, build your own sandwich or something like that. So it's so pretty. I would love to be able to wear it next winter. I have 3 more minis at home. I haven't balled up yet. I just keep them in one of my favorite project bags. And yeah, so that's knitting project number 3 that I need to get some major progress on. Okay, last knitting project. And if you've been here for a while, you're so sick of seeing this once a year, twice a year. It's well overdue that I finish this. Just like the Blackbird Designs piece, I've got to finish up some of these super old whips. I want to wear this so bad. But it's just one of those things that I put it down and then I completely forget about it for 6 months. Okay, so the yarn. Super old, but very, you know, it's just a workhorse of a yarn. It's Holst yarn. And I purchased it at my LNS, which was Knit Stitch, way back in, don't even remember. She has since moved locations, I think 2 or 3 times since I purchased this. And yeah, it's a 55% lamb's wool, 45% cotton. And it's really nice. So that's the Coast. They also make a super soft that is not super soft. So there we go. It's a beautiful, it's literally my favorite color in the entire world. It's absolutely my favorite kind of shawl to wear. Asymmetrical, made out of light fingering weight, super long. You can wrap it around your neck 100 times. And it's just, it's, you know, the edges are rolled in and rolly, and it's light and airy and thin. So not only is it light, but it's also going to be quite warm. So there's my, got it inside out to show you. Hang on. Let's show you the right side. The needles are clack, clack, clack. So there's my end. I know it's all wrinkled up because it's been jammed in the project bag. So maybe it's not even quite half done because you basically knit. You think you're done and you're not even close to being done. Because it's so, you have to knit it so long in order to have it be able to wrap around, you know, a few times. So, love it. Love it. Love it. So, sometimes I just need to pull these projects. That's Carrie. I don't forget how much I love these projects and that, you know, I have so much of it done and they're not finished. It's just that, you know, out of sight, out of mind. And then I have to touch these things to be reminded of how absolutely special they are to me and how badly I want the finished project, no matter how many other things I start, because it's the beauty of, I think, of being both a process and a project crafter, in that there's so much pleasure in all aspects of it for me. I fully intend this year. Last year I had really specific goals with how many things I wanted to start, and I did 50 for 50, but I also counted finishes in there with those 50. I didn't start 50 new things. And when we did the whip parade and I finally did the big count, and you know, it wasn't nearly as overwhelming as a number as I thought it might be. And I was able to part with some projects that, though I still love them, they just don't, I don't have the drive to either finish them anymore, or they don't suit my purposes anymore. Not that I don't want to get rid of them, because for me there are so many memories tied up in our crafting, but I'm okay with not finishing them. And my plan is to make a memory book with them, a sewn memory book. So I plan on, you know, making a fabric cover and sewing those pages together in a way. I have to kind of plot it out and plan how I'm actually going to make that happen. But that's on my agenda for February. I want to go through those pieces that I am setting aside, turning into a memory book, and figure out a really creative way to best display them in a display for myself, because that's who they're for. My children aren't going to care about them. They're unfinished whips that really have only meaning to me, and that's okay. So my plan for this year is to really draw as much pleasure out of this craft, out of any craft that I choose at any given moment, and just grab on and ride the wave. So that's why I fully intend to start that 1897 sampler in February, as well as my Salentine's piece. But I also want to bring back the old faithfuls, my old beloved projects that I really do want the finished project, and make a concerted effort to put the work in and enjoy it, enjoy the process. So that is it for me today. Once again, Holiday Countdown 2025 sales will be live tomorrow at noon in the shop, www.evertote.ca, at noon Eastern Standard Time. We have lots. They are not going to sell out overnight, not to worry. We start selling them so early because it is such a large project for my team. It takes us a very long time to pull it all together. We pack thousands upon thousands of envelopes. All the floss needs to be dyed, all the linen. I think we figured it's about 130 yards of linen, fabric, Aida, even weave, etc. It is, it's a lot. It is a lot, but it is so fun. It's so fun. So that's it for me today. I will be back on the other channel next week with my partner in crime, Carrie. I will have another Floss Tube video up for you today. Thank you for joining me today. Congratulations again to the 3 winners from the beginning. Stay safe, everybody, and I will see you soon. Take care. Happy stitching. Wouldn't be a video, wouldn't be a Caroline video if I didn't completely forget a huge thing that I wanted to show and share. My quilt! My quilt! Oh my goodness, look at it. It is so beautiful. Look. Wow. This was made by Barb's Bookshelf. You can find her on Instagram. She is Canadian. She lives 20 minutes from me. And she has another quilt up for sale at the moment, and I'm telling you, it's a steal of a deal. It's basically materials and a fraction of her time. I'll put her Instagram in the link below, because the other quilt that she's selling is, I almost told her I wanted to buy that one too, but I really can't, because I have to save my pennies for lighting and a microphone. But look at it. Oh, it's so gorgeous. so gorgeous. It's a large lap quilt. It's bigger than a small couch quilt. It's perfect for 2 people to cuddle under, but I'm being selfish. It's on a chair in my bedroom, and oh, I love it. Love it, love it. I have a knitting chair in my bedroom, and this is now living there. I snuggled under it for 2 hours last night, and I may have even fallen asleep in my chair. It was glorious. Glorious. Cup of coffee and my quilt, and this weekend, and I'm gonna be a happy girl. So that's my quilt. Barb, if you see this, I absolutely love it. I couldn't love it more. It was worth every single penny. I just love it. Handmade with absolute attention to detail. Check out those stitches. Look at that. Gorgeous. The binding, hand sewn. Absolutely beautiful. And you want to know something really, really, really nice? At least 2 of the fabrics in here I have used in bags in the past. I have to find them. See this one right there? Right there. I've used that one. It's a beautiful, beautiful white blue fabric. And then this one right there, I've used that one as well. Isn't that fun? And now they're in a quilt. But I get to remember those bags. It's so cozy, this quilt. I absolutely love it. I've already run it through, because you know quilts just get better the more you wash and dry them. I've already run it through once, and I just know it's going to be a beloved part of my cozy, look, I mean, even the backing, look, she pieced together the backing. It's so fun. All of these beautiful colors. Look, how fun. Oof. I know, I'm doing a terrible job. Look at, oh, I love it. It just makes me so happy. It was worth the splurge. Thank you, Barb. I love it. Okay, now that really is it. I showed you everything. I did it all. I said it all. I'll see you next week, everybody. Take care. Have a great weekend. Happy stitching.